Okay, so now we're going to remind ourselves what half notes do. Now remember, half notes equal 2 quarter notes. So in this measure, I gave us kind of the reminder what 4 quarter notes counted is. So you would count 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if I took these 2 quarter notes and I added them together, that would take up the first 2 beats of the measure. Now we know that half notes are 2 beats long, so we need to talk about what the impulse does. So if I took the first beat and the second beat and added them together, so I have 1, 2, we don't need the 2 anymore because the 2 is going to change into an impulse now. So we have this impulse and we have this impulse, and now our number is also an impulse. So we actually notate it wa, un. So now we have 2 beats still, but we have 4 parts of the beat all together. So wa, un. Okay, so if we know that this measure is 2, or this note is 2 beats of the measure, then we know that this is also 2 notes of the measure. So 1 and 2 are in the first note, 3 and 4 are in the second note. So we would impulse it, or the number would start at 3, and we would still impulse 3 one time, and then add 2 more for the 4. And then our foot language, instead of just being a V underneath, it would be a W. So you could mark it like that, or you could do 2 of those together. So my foot tap goes down 2 times for a half note. So it would be 2 times for this note, and it would be 2 times for that note. So if I continue on, I know that this one would be the same thing as the last measure, but then this note would be a rest. So this is essentially the same thing as this measure, but this note is now a rest. So we're just going to put those in parentheses. So we will whisper those. Okay, same thing here. If we had 2 quarter notes, we would count it 1 for a rest. And then this one would be 2. And then this note is beat 3, and we're going to say it, and we're going to impulse it all the way through those 2 beats. So our foot language on this one would be 2 here, but only 1 here, and then 1 here. So this is all fairly easy when you put your quarter notes or your half notes on the first beat and the third beat. What happens if we take a quarter note and put it before this? So we still have here 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have 1 here, and then this one is a half note, so it gets 2 foot taps, and that one's 1. So we have to change something, okay? We know that this note is still 1, so we've completed the full count for the first beat. Now, this note does start on 2, but we know that it's a half note, so we still have to impulse it for 1 more full beat. This currently is only 1 beat, so we need to add impulses to this to make sure that we account for our foot going down, up, down, up. And if we know that this is beat 1, this is beat 2 and 3, then this note has to be 4. So let's count through these measures. Okay, we'll start right here. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 4. And that is the end of our review.